what brings you into counseling today?
Well, I hate to hurt your feelings, but let me start by saying I don't think I need counseling. My husband David demanded I see you for some issue I'm convinced he has imagined up out of thin air. But I truly don't want to lose him, so here I am.
Well, tell me a little bit about your relationship.
David and I met in law school. He was everything I was looking for. It checked all the boxes. He was popular, well liked, top of the class. He had a great image. And our joke is that once I set my eye on him, there was no stopping that train. So we were married pretty much immediately after graduation. And we complement each other really well. He's really laid back. He allows me to make most of the important decisions, which is how I like it. There's nothing I would change about our relationship.
So what does he seem troubled with then?
Troubled? All I know is what he's told me. He yells all the time about needing emotions from me. He's asking way too much of me. I don't bring up everything that's wrong with him. If there's something wrong, I fix whatever I can. Why does he feel he needs to have control over everything I do? It's absurd.
Well, what is your perspective on that?
I think that David should feel grateful that I put so much time and effort into him in the first place. I don't need him to succeed. If anything, I'm trying to bring him up with me and my success. Doesn't he know what a catch he has? If he realized that I was out of his league to begin with, he would be doing everything to hold on to me, not drive me away with all the nitpicking. That is the level of respect I deserve, and that's my perspective. If he doesn't see that, then none of this is my fault.
Okay, so I understand your perspective and a little bit of David's. Can we digress a little bit and talk a little bit about your childhood? Can you tell me a little bit about how you grew up?
That's really where you want to go. My childhood. I mean, I don't know. My childhood was great. I was on top of the world. Any other questions?
Well, could I have just a little more information than that? Like, what I'd like to know is if you experienced any difficulties in your childhood and how you handled those.
Difficulties? I mean, I hated skinning my knee. Is that what you're looking for? I mean, it was great.
No, not exactly. How about, can you tell me about any times that you experienced your parent, like how were your parents? Were were they present and were they um, loving? What kind of parents were they?
They were always present, always, every minute of the day. Everybody knew about them. Everybody respected them. They were always careful to present a loving image. They did everything for me. They were there. Yeah, both of them.
How about emotionally, like with you personally?
I mean, it was important that I was included in that image. I guess what is the point of doing well if people don't see it? Those were the values. They were careful to instill good values in me, and I think they tried and did a good job because here I am. I'm doing great. So obviously they did a good job.
Okay. Well, let's I'd like to ask another question and try something that we haven't done yet. I'd like to ask you if you were able to put yourself in David's shoes and you were to pretend, if you wouldn't mind doing that with me for a minute, that you were David and you were coming in and sitting in the seat and you were David and you were going to explain to me how you felt about things, and actually how he feels, but you would pretend like you were him. Uh, what would he be saying to me?
I don't know what David feels when he tries to start a fight with me. That's his decision. That's up to him. I mean, if he doesn't like arguing so much, he should be more careful to do what he's expected to do. I don't know what he's feeling. All I know is that he needs to be doing things that benefits our lives. That's what I'm doing. If he doesn't understand that, it's his fault.
So I think the next thing that we need to consider maybe is what kinds of goals we want to come up with. And that's where I think we'll go next.